New season, new YouTube video. We're back, and we're gonna come back strong this season. You know what I mean? In terms of content, everything. Watch alongs on Twitch, reactions on TikTok. I'm gonna be using YouTube Shorts as well, so make sure you do subscribe to your boy on YouTube. You know what I mean? Follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitch, and that's where the live reactions will be. But new season means a new hunt. You know what I mean? We got a new manager. Everything's new about this team and we're gonna go strong. I mean, preseason's been good. Just the one defeat in the behind the closed doors game against Preston. That was the first game, so majority were youngsters, anyways. But we did have a few first teamers there. But the rest of the games, we beat Arsenal, we beat Man United, we beat Sevilla. We did draw 0-0 against Las Palmas, but that don't matter. Um, so and we beat Real Betis, I think. Yeah, Betis. So everything in preseason looked promising. Like the worry was always Jurgen Klopp has left. How are we gonna move on from that, and how Arnie Slot's gonna come in and reform this team into what he wants from the team? And in every game, you see something different. And I seen it on Twitter. Fans are picking out little moments where you're like, "This is Arnie ball." And if things are to be like that this season, Arnie Ball is going to be very, very amazing to watch. Like, don't get it twisted. We're going to get games where Arnie Ball doesn't want to work. And we're going to get games where genuinely Arnie Ball just isn't going to work. And people are gonna be annoyed about it, but this is the joys. Jurgen Klopp's football didn't really work perfectly in his first full season at Liverpool. Remember the games where we were winning 4-3, 5-4, 2-1. There were high scoring goal games, and it took a little bit of adapting for us as fans to get to the point. Like, yeah, this is Klopp's football. It's gonna work, and it might be the same with Arnie's ball. But so far in preseason, everything does look somewhat promising, and we go into the season on a high after a very good preseason. Um, in terms of teams and players, like I think Gravenberch has a very good preseason, and again, I say this all the time in my streams. He is one player that we've signed, and I've just not been fully sold on him. But if he performs how he did in preseason to how he like if he is to replicate his preseason form into the season, I think I'll be fully on board with him because he looked very good. Um, in terms of centre back partnerships, I think Virgil and Kwanzaa is our go-to centre back partnership. I think Konate and Joe Gomez are very good backups, and I think they're going to be very much pushing for that first team. But I think Kwanzaa has cemented himself as our first team centre back. I think obviously you can't drop Virgil; he's our captain at the end of the day. Um, so I think those two are centre back partnerships are very good. Robert Trent is there, but Trent needs to be on his game because I think Connor Bradley is very good money for his replacement. Robertson, I think we do need a left back. I think like looking at Simicast, as good a player as Simicast is, right? If Robertson is to get injured, and it's not impossible, he's at that age where injuries might keep creeping up on him. Is Simicast that guy you want? Having him cover like the odd few minutes in a game, or maybe the odd game here or there, not the worst case scenario, but a good chunk of fixtures. I don't know if Simicast is that guy. Like I love Simicast to pieces. He's an amazing, like he's a good player. He's a very good man to have in our back room. Like, but is he that player that we say we're in the title picture come the end of the season, right? And I'll go on to all this in a little bit, but just say we're in the title picture at the end of the season. Is he gonna be like? And Robertson does get injured. Is Simicast that guy that's gonna really be the guy that we want to see at left back? I don't know. I'm not fully sold. Like you guys might be. Let me know if you are. But at the moment, I think left back is an area that we can strengthen. That is my predicted lineup for tomorrow. Obviously the game on for Saturday morning, which by the way you can catch on Twitch. I'll be live streaming that, and I'll probably be live on TikTok as well. But yeah, I'm just looking at all the positions. Like I think we're strengthened. I think obviously in the goalkeeper region, I think we are linked with the keeper. We haven't really done any other business, and again, I'm going to touch on all of this stuff right now. But Alisson Becker, Kelleher, two very good keepers. We got Mamadashvili apparently looking very much set to join Liverpool. We send him out on loan. To me, that screams out Kelleher's leaving next season or the season after, whenever Mamardashvili actually does come to Liverpool. To me, that screams out Kelleher's leaving. And don't get me wrong, I've sort of known this is going to happen for for a very long time, because he is just too good of a keeper to be second choice. He's young. He's very unfortunate that Allison is literally in his prime, and he's got a lot of years left in him, to be honest. And it's unfortunate for Keller, because every time Allison's been injured, Keller has always stepped up, always delivered, never let us down. Like he might make a mistake here and there, but he always makes up for it with some excellent saves. You know what I mean? Like he always steps up to the plate when we need him, and that's why he will be a major miss when he does leave, if he is to leave anyways. Obviously, that transfer's not gone through, so I don't know 100%, but it is looking very likely that we are to get Mamardashvili at some point. In terms of midfield, Gravenberch, like I said, had a very good preseason. McAllister, very good preseason. Elliott showed up in preseason. Some of the youngsters did. I thought Carvalho had a very good preseason, but obviously now we've sold him on to Brentford. Very high, really, very high sell on percentage. It was good money, 20 million. Obviously, actually, one more person I need to mention in the centre back position. Vandenberg's had a very good preseason as well, but it does look like we are looking to offload him, and I think about 10 to 20 million is what they're looking for. I would accept anything maybe between 15 and 20. I think he's good value for that. And again, I think another very high sell on needs to be put on him, because he's destined for big things. But yeah, so we got Elliot, McAllister, Gravenberch in midfield. Obviously, you got the likes of Endo still there. Curtis Jones is still there. Um, Tyler Morton, who's looking like he's going to stay at Liverpool this season. It looks like Arnie likes what he sees. And don't get me wrong, I love a bit of Tyler Morton. He's very good. We did have Bobby Clark. Bobby Clark is now moving on. It looks like he's moving on to Salzburg to join Pep Linders over there. Very high sell-on fee again there as well. So I think the youngsters that we have been getting rid of look to be promising youngsters. And don't get me wrong, I was a fan of Bobby Clark last season. He did very good for us in the games that he did show up in. Um, Probably is a fair few midfielders that I've left out. Let's have a quick browse. Midfielders, um, midfielders teams. So we got Soboslai. Soboslai didn't look amazing in preseason. Don't get me wrong, he did have a very good preseason, but he didn't look amazing. But because I think he did miss one game due to fatigue, and that could be. I think he just needs to take it easy, because last season he started the season amazing. He set the bar that high. I think he set the bar so high that it was becoming a chase to keep up that level. And I think he just needs to maintain a level. He doesn't need to be one game this, one game that, and then one game back there. Like he just needs to maintain a good level, and I think he'll be a very good player in that sense. Um, but we got other youngsters there like Ben Dokes. I think he's going out low. Cade Gordon, I think he's going out on loan. Nat Phillips and Reese Williams, I think both of them need to find a new club, because it's dampening their career. I don't think they're young. They can be classified as youngsters anymore. I think they're very much in the years that they need to be playing week in, week out. Um, Kumas, I think, is going out on loan somewhere. Morton, I've spoke about. Owen Beck, I don't really see enough of him to comment on him much. And we got our youngster Naoni, that's very, very promising. Meant to be the next best thing that comes out of Liverpool's academy, and so far he looks good value for it. Um, in terms of our strikers, Jota, Diaz, Salah, Darwin, Gakpo, all had a very promising preseason. I don't like. There's going to be loads of slander on Darwin. There always seems to be, you know. And don't get me wrong. Last season, I sort of seen the side of why fans turn on Darwin every now and then. Pardon me. It's like we were in the title race, right? And then they start going back into all those games where he had a crucial chance and he missed it, right? But that's not going to help him. You know what I mean? fans need to get behind him. Like I know a lot of fans that want to see Darwin move on from Liverpool. I'm not one of them. I think Darwin's still got 1 season or 2 seasons at Liverpool to prove himself, very much prove himself at Liverpool. And then, you know what? Then maybe we make a judgment. I think he's got the capability of being a very good footballer. I think there's a very good footballer in there. I just think we need to find him and help nurture him, because you got to think that, like, people always mention the misses that he had, right? But those 2 goals against Newcastle don't come. Like, there's goals that he scored that we probably wouldn't even thought he would have scored. Like, he had a purple patch, and I think in that purple patch he wasn't that kid. Like, with Darwin Núñez, I always picture a kid, right? And this kid is like very trigger happy. As soon as the ball's in front of his feet, he's very trigger happy, and he wants to do something instantly. He needs to go back to being the player that he was in that purple patch, where he was so composed. He knew what he wanted to do, and he executed it so well. That goal against Bournemouth as well. Fans were jeering at him because he had a very heavy first touch, and he cut inside, curls it past the keeper. You know, when he's on confidence, he will attempt stuff and he will pull it off. It's when he's got that little bit of doubt in his head, that's when stuff just, he can't seem to get it together. Um, you know what I mean? Diaz, again, had a very good preseason, 2 good goals against Sevilla. Some random links with Man City yesterday. I don't think there's any truth to it. A lot of it got brushed aside yesterday. Some other rumours did come of him today, but I think he's staying at Liverpool. And if he was to leave, there needs to be big money, because at the moment, Diaz at the moment looks very much like the Diaz that we signed from Porto way back when. Um, Diego Jota again has had a very good preseason, but when I say purple patch, Diego Jota does come to mind when I say purple patch, because I love Jota, right? And he always does bits for Liverpool. Always, always, always does bits for Liverpool. But every time he strings up a good run of games where he's assisting or scoring goals or whatever, he gets injured. And we missed the fuck out of him because we got so used to just Jota being Jota, you know what I mean? And that's the difficulty, you know what I mean? I'm hoping he can have a very good season where, you know, he probably is gonna miss a few games. There's a lot of players in this team where we're gonna have a game or two without them. It's gonna happen with all the amount of international breaks that we have, with most of our team being 100% definitely picked for their national teams. There's gonna be little injuries and niggles around here and there. It could happen. It's gonna happen. We just need to make sure we have a team that's ready to combat that. And speaking of that team, like, we haven't signed anyone in this transfer window, and we're the only Premier League team that's not signed anyone in this transfer window. And I'm one of those fans that sort of sit back. I've sat back and just watched everything that's going on. I got excited with the Zubimendi talks, and I got excited about the prospect of him joining Liverpool. Um, so yeah, when that did go tits up, it sucked a little bit, because I did really like the player that was on offer there. It kind of baffles me that we're not going to go in for another midfielder, because that's the one position that seems to be targeted by every manager. Klopp tried it. We tried Tchouaméni, he chose Real Madrid. Tried Jude Bellingham, he chose Real Madrid. Um, Tried Caicedo, he chose Chelsea. Lavia chose Chelsea in the end, and now Zubimendi's chosen to stay at Sociedad. Don't know why I mentioned Jude Bellingham in this different player, but you get the picture. Like, when people question the pull is not Liverpool. It's just people. Real Madrid probably do have on par with us the pull, right? But Real Madrid, when they come knocking, you got to accept it. They're not going to come knocking again. Caicedo and Lavia have ruined their careers by going Chelsea. And then you look at Zubimendi's chosen to stay at Sociedad. Like, and I've seen a lot of fans getting mad about it. Like, what are you going to win at Sociedad or whatnot? Like, but from me, I saw it as a massive, massive loyalty thing. And I rate the fact that that guy stayed there. Like, he's chosen to decline moves at Bayern, Arsenal, and Liverpool. So, like, you can't question the guy's loyalty on that. But I still think we need to dip into the transfer window. I still think there's still work to be done there. I don't think the team's weak. I think the team is very strong, but every team to be at Man City's level, you need to keep strengthening here and there. And Arsenal have done that. They've signed a few players. Man United have signed a few players. Chelsea have signed the whole of the world. You know, even Man City have signed a few players to strengthen on from where they were before. So I think Liverpool need to do something just to make sure we don't get left behind. Because I think realistically, top four is still our main goal here. If we're in a title picture, I'll be gassed and I'll be happy. But I think top four is very realistic for us. I think it's a very achievable goal. Um, that should be the focus in terms of the league, the top four. And if anything else is promising and could come of it, then happy days. In terms of FA Cup and League Cup, I think FA Cup is the one that we should take seriously. League Cup, just use the youngsters and rotate the squad around, because League Cup did matter once upon a time, because if you won the League Cup, you were given a European spot. Nowadays, European spot in Carabao Cup is nothing. It doesn't exist. FA Cup, you win that, you get given a European spot. So FA Cup is a very more realistic competition to go for. So in terms of those two competitions, I think FA Cup favorite 100%. Champions League, I'm hopeful. I'm actually hopeful, because I don't like. We have fans back at Anfield. Last time we were fully in the Champions League, we didn't really have fans. No, we did. That's a lie. Ignore me. But European nights at Anfield are different, and I know everyone says the same thing, but it's not wrong. Every manager says the same thing. European nights at Anfield are amazing, and I don't see why we can't excel in the Champions League. We got a whole new format to work out, and I don't personally understand the format. So if you do understand it, let me know down below in the comments below. But I'm hopeful of the Champions League. I think Liverpool could be adding another one to their cabinet, and things could go well. But in terms of preseason, we've had a very good preseason. I still think there's room for improvement in this team. I don't think the team's bad. I just think there's room for improvement. I'm ready for Saturday. Remember, I'll put another video out previewing tomorrow's game. Not tomorrow's game, Saturday's game against Ipswich Town, which is the early kickoff. And again, you will see my live reactions to that on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mr. So be there if you wanted to see an Indian guy raging, really. But yeah, that's enough waffling from me today. Let me know your thoughts on Liverpool's pre-season transfer activity and what your thoughts are going into the season, what you're expecting of us. Let me know everything. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, then please do down below. Hit the thumbs up button, likes. Follow me on my TikTok for reactions of all my goals, and follow me on Twitch for live watch-alongs of all Liverpool games. It's been your boy, Mr. Me. I'll catch you tomorrow for Liverpool Ipswich preview. Have a good day. Peace.